Hey, y'all, and welcome to day 34 of our daily WSOP coverage. This is our third year doing it. And here we are on the downslope of the number of days. There are 53. We're on day 34. We're getting there, people. I feel like the little engine that could, or is it the little caboose that could? I think it's the little engine that could, but here we are. I'm Sherry Pluskota. I'll be your host today. And some of my co hosts are going to be in and out today, if at all, because everybody's got a few things going on and it's okay. Um, I hope that I'm not losing connection. Hey, Dana, is it showing I'm losing connection for you?
Nope, you sound good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I got an error message and it always frightens me. So if we bomb out, I'll start a new one, people. We all know the drill. Many thanks to my sponsor, Elevator Results. If you need a tailor made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can design that plan. Follow them on Twitter site at elevatorresultspt.com. If you would like to listen to any of my spaces from the past, you can find them on my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212. Please subscribe. It is free of charge. Thank you. Be reminded that we always try to give out the most updated and accurate information, but we do make mistakes, so please double check any information we provide to ensure yourself the best experience possible. And if we make a mistake, let us know so we can correct it for everybody's ears. Dana, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good, Miss Sherry. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. I have to say, I'm getting a little weary being on the road this long, but we are going to make it through. I go home on July the 3rd, which is only a few days away, and hopefully, I'm going to the post anniversary party today. So that's going to help recharge the battery as well, just getting out of, you know, the whole strip scene, so to speak,
Yeah.
and just taking a good break again.
Are you getting
And
homesick?
no, I don't think I ever get homesick. I know that sounds terrible, but I just love to travel so much. I don't think I ever get homesick, honestly. I miss my kids, my grandbaby, yes. But I don't think I ever get homesick. And it's probably because I stayed home for so many decades taking care of kids, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's my time now. Um, yeah. And that's a hard question for me because I really just enjoy traveling so much. I just, the schedule I've been keeping here at the WSOP has been so like jam packed with stuff and DMs and meetings and interviews and parties. And I'm not complaining. It's just, it catches up with you after a while. It really does. And so, anyway, I just posted in the Jumbotron a view from the windows from the club where the anniversary party was at yesterday. It was just so beautiful at sunset. I'm just going to tell you, I could have sat there for an hour and just looked out those big, beautiful windows at the club we were at. So, thought I would share that with you guys this morning. Hope it brings you some delight like it did for me. All right, you guys, I'm going to move on and give tournament information since we kind of been slacking on that this last couple days. And Dane, I'm going to just do another check because I keep getting a message and a connection message. Can you still hear
Yeah.
me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now. X made a liar out of me because it did start glitching just a little bit, but we could make out I could make out what you're saying, but it's kind of given that glitchy sound.
Well, it's so weird because I'm on 5G and it should be, and like the message is popping up like every 10 seconds now, which is very weird.
Well, we haven't had that much of a problem like as far as like every 10 seconds, but it just cuts in and out like
Okay,
some
so
static.
let's set up this as a backup plan. If you cannot hear me, I want you to just start putting up the crying emoji. If you put the thumbs down emoji, I'm going to just think you don't like what I'm saying. So if you put the crying emoji, I'll know that you guys can't hear me. How does that sound?
Sounds good. I would.
All right.
Are you by a window or anywhere?
I'm where I sit every day.
Yeah,
I'm like in the exact same spot I've been broadcasting from for the whole time I've been here. Um, and it's just weird. And
might just
I'm
be
not even
traffic.
I'm not even on their internet because of that other day when we crapped out. I just started using 5G and I haven't gone back. Um, so anyway, I'm in the exact same place that I always am, and it's weird, but here we are. So okay, so remember a crying emoji if you lose me completely. Okay, appreciate y'all. All right, let's get to some of the schedules around town. Over at South Point, today is Sunday, and they have some special announcements at South Point. They have actually, pardon me, suspended. They didn't call it canceling, they called it suspended their 10:10 a.m. tournament because they have a big ladies event going on today. So their daily tournament is suspended, aka canceled for today. They will have their 610 $880 bounty tournament, 50K bounties, 10K guarantee, and they will have their 10:10 p.m. $120 turbo bounty, $25 bounties, 3K guarantee. So that's what's going on. Well, sort of. I'm going to get to the ladies' events. Um, at South Point today is day 2 of their Ladies National Championship. That starts at 10:10 instead of their daily. And then at 6:10, they're having a Ladies Bounty Survivor Tournament, $200 buy-in. So that's what's going on at South Point today. Over at Planet Hollywood today, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 6 p.m., 10 p.m. is a $100 buy-in, 20K starting stack, 15-minute blinds, a 1K guarantee. Over at Caesar's Palace at 10 a.m. and at 6 p.m. is a $120 buy-in, $50 add-on, 15K starting stack, 20-minute blinds, 1K guarantee. And at 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. is a $160 buy-in, $50 add-on, 20K starting stack, 20-minute blinds, 2K guarantee. Over at Resorts World at 12:05 and 7:05, $200 buy-in, 25K starting stack, 30-minute blinds, 3K guarantee. At Mandalay Bay, 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. is a $60 no limit tournament, 10K starting stack, 15-minute blinds, and there is no guarantee on those tournaments. Over at, and I need to change my page. Hold on, you guys. My notebook is so full. Over at the Win today at 10 a.m. is a satellite to their main. It's an $1,100 buy-in. They are guaranteeing 5 seats. At 12 p.m. is their main event, Flight 1D. It is a $10,400 buy-in with a $10 million guarantee. Over at the Venetian at 11 is day 3 of their No Limit tournament starting at 11. At 11:10 is their PLO Flight 1A tournament, $1,100 buy-in, $300,000 guarantee. At 1810 hours is their Bounty tournament and No Limit tournament, $600 buy-in, 40K guarantee. Over at the Ari at 11 o'clock is their Mystery Bounty, $1,100 buy-in, $500,000 guarantee, and they have a satellite to their main event. It's a $400 buy-in, 10 seats guaranteed, and that starts at 1800 hours over at the Aria. Don't forget, they're still doing final table swag bags, including an Aria hoodie. Over at the MGM Grand at 10 o'clock is a PLO tournament, $400 buy-in, 50K guarantee. At 1400 hours is a satellite to the main, $200 buy-in, 5 seats guaranteed. At 1800 hours is a no limit tournament, And it says the buy-in is $286. Somehow I can't imagine that's the correct buy-in, but that's what it says. And that's a 10K guarantee. Double check that one if you want to go to that one, please. That's at 1,800 hours. At 2,100 hours over at the MGM is a $150 buy-in and a 5K guarantee. Over at the Golden Nugget at 11 o'clock is a no limit $250 buy in. At 12 o'clock is their Mystery Bounty Day 2. And at 1,800 hours is a no limit tournament, $200 buy in. Again, when you're going over to the Nugget, double check everything because they're making lots of changes this summer. And honestly, it's hard to keep up. Over at the Orleans at 11 o'clock is a no limit tournament, $300 buy in, 100K guarantee. And at 1,800 hours is triple draw tournament, $240 buy in, 10K guarantee. And also at the Orleans at 2,200 hours, nope, I have to, nope, erase that one. That one's canceled the rest of the summer. And it's so funny because I don't remember that until I start reading it. And I'm like, damn it, I'm not supposed to be reading that one. Anyway, here we are. Hey, Karen Chess, how are you?
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, thank you. Um,
I got up early today. I got up at 5:50.
oh my God. Have you lost
Yeah.
your mind?
I had to go to breakfast. So my best friend that passed away last year, she lived in Vegas, but I knew her from Atlanta, and her husband and daughter still live here. So I went to breakfast with her husband, and yeah, so I had to get up early because the only time, shout out to him for getting up early and working
Right,
around me. But I can't really plan to see him later because I never know when I'm busting out.
right. No, I get it.
but now I'm but now I'm dressed and ready.
And what are we ready for? I know the answer, but I want you to tell everybody else.
Well, I can't remember if I told you that I changed my mind or not. So I was going to do mini main,
Yeah, that's
but
the last I
now
heard. Okay.
nope, I changed my mind. Stacy's very persuasive, and she knows a lot about poker. And then also my friend Nancy is playing the mystery bounty at Aria 1100. So the two of them kind of made me rethink it. So I'm going to go do that at 11, and then mini main will be tomorrow.
Awesome. I love that
Yeah,
game plan. Very good.
yeah.
I love
So I'm
that.
looking forward to it.
All right, so Mystery Bounty at the Aria and then Mini Main tomorrow.
Yeah, and then you mentioned, of course, that satellite. So if I bust the bounty, I might even jump in. It could change my plan. But the plan right now is yes.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first. She heard it here and then she's changing her mind. This is precisely why we talk about these things because there's a lot to keep up with. And sometimes when you hear those schedules, you're like, wait a minute, what about that? Maybe I should do that. So I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And tell us what you did yesterday.
So yesterday I played flight, I guess it was D, of the Gladiator, and played that pretty much all day, one bullet, and then busted right before, like maybe an hour before late reg ended. And if I had rebought at that time, I would get 15 bigs. So I decided not to rebuy. And then just kind of relaxed and met a friend for a drink later. And I did play an online Saturday. Oh, that was funny because I took a nap and then I got up and it was like $100 Saturday. And I thought it was a Saturday into a Saturday. This is on World Series of Poker for the main event.
Right,
And I thought $100, that's pretty good. And I hadn't had any time at all to try to win in a Saturday in the main, which I want to try to do. So I jumped into to that online, and then I realized, oh crap, this is actually a winner takes all. They're giving out one seat, which was fine. And then, but I busted it. You had to win the thing. There's like 100 something
right,
people in there.
right.
Then I went and met my friend Nancy for a drink, and that was fun. That was just kind of it. The day was done.
Yeah, and we were going to meet after that, and I was like, I don't even think I can make it, to wait for you.
Yeah, I know, because I texted you about what are you doing? You're like, yeah, I'm about to go to bed.
I'm on my way up. Sorry, but tomorrow is another day. Yesterday, these days are just so long. They were just so long. But anyway, I did get to meet Jay Bills yesterday. He snuck up behind me, so to speak. We were walking, and I guess he recognized me when I turned the corner and ended up in front of him. And so we chatted for a few minutes. So that was fun meeting somebody from the spaces. And then I guess somebody saw me in an elevator. Chris did, and I think I remember him. I think he was standing like in the back left corner when I got into the elevator. And I actually think I looked at him and thought, oh, he looks familiar. But of course, I'm sorry, but I didn't recognize him. But anyway, of course, if you see me, speak up, people. Come say hello. Um, I love that. I mean, that's, it's fun to meet the folks we've been talking to over, the last 2 years. So always come and speak and say hello to, and I'm sure Karen feels the same way. Say hello to us.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like that's one of the things that's great about poker is the community and meeting the different players.
Right. 100%. Um, since you don't have to leave until 11, I'm going to make you co-host. I thought you were jetting out the door this morning. Um, I don't want to put pressure on you by making you co-host knowing that you're jetting out the door.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it did change. So I'm not jetting. So I'm happy to co host.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, I want to talk about something this morning that, and I'm just going to read somebody sent me this tweet. Um, and I'm going to tell you a story how this kind of thing pertains to me in my life. But before I do, I want to just read the tweet so everybody has a point of reference as to what I'm talking about this morning. And honestly, I don't want anybody to bring up the names of anybody involved. We're just going to talk about what happened. I don't want anybody to bring up the name of the police. Um, and this is what was written, I think, in Poker News or whoever, poker.org maybe is doing the update. I can't remember. But anyway, it says this player, his name, opened $80,000 and got a call from another player, taking both players to the flop. The flop came, blah, 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 and X player pushed all her chips in the middle with the ashes of her husband on top of her stack, saying she was going all in with her husband. The other player bemoaned that she was Chinese and very superstitious, so how could she call? She folded her hand as blank said she had a king and blank didn't have anything anyway. So, what do you think about somebody pushing somebody's ashes into the all in pot? Oh,
That's weird.
Karen.
Well, you know, so I'm going to say that it's unusual for sure. I'm going to have to agree with Dana. But I think that I'm going to agree with Pads because I did see that tweet. And I'm going to say that these are the kind of human interest stories that I want to see. It makes it more interesting. I do want to see some straight out hand histories too, but I just really feel like the stories behind the players are important to keep my interest. But yeah, a little
Right.
weird.
Right. I mean, we can talk about flops and bad beats all day long, but what do we want to talk about even here in spaces? We don't want to talk about bad beats. I say it all the time. No bad beat stories. We want the human interest stories, right? And um, I just literally kind of laughed out loud because I know the person involved. And I say that because when my mom passed, my mom was my travel bud. Okay, when she moved in with us, up until her moving in with us, she lived in the state of Illinois. I lived in the state of Georgia for I don't know, like 20 to 23 years. We were separated by state lines. And so when she moved in with us, of course, she had the onset of Alzheimer and dementia. But she was, what I used to say, she was probably still 95% there mentally when she moved in with us, right? And so she became my travel partner. My daughter was in college sports at the time. So anytime I went out of town to watch my daughter play, my mom was with me. We went to casinos, whatever. She was my travel partner. And so when she passed, I had a small, beautiful, ornate mini urn made, and then we had her big marble urn made for her ashes. That would be how she would be buried. And the small urn was eventually going to be tossed into Lake Michigan because my mom grew up swimming in Lake Michigan. I'm still here. Don't throw up the sad emojis. Anyway, so um, mm, although they do apply, um, and so I actually thought about, because the little urn I had made with her was probably half the size of a palm, and it was very beautiful. Ornate, golden, like sort of like a genie bottle kind of vibe and shape. And I actually toyed with her being my card marker, my card marker. But then, and I joked with a couple, like my kids. I was like, come on, you guys. It actually would be funny to me that she would be my card marker because people would know, like, why do I have this little thing on my, and it's so big for a card marker, right? And then, of course, the discussions with my kids and a couple of my friends would be, okay, let's pretend to have conversations as other players at the table, like, oh, that's so beautiful, what is it? And you hand it to them and go, oh, it's my mom. And get their reaction, sort of as a sort of a, just, we have corrupt senses of humor in my family, right? And of course we said no, we're not going to do it, but we kind of had fun just joking about it and how people would react to it and so on and so forth. Um, but I do think, I would never move it all, just from my personal, point of view. I would have never thought about, you know, pushing it all in. And as a matter of fact, when we were making jokes and cutting up about it, not one of us ever said that was we would push it all in. But anyway, we kind of had fun with the topic. So go ahead, Fats.
Yeah, I got a bone to pick with Merv.
Oh, we.
I popped into
Why are you
space.
trying?
I popped into space last night because I saw he was in there, and I fanboy was in the middle of a long, heartfelt conversation about a personal matter, and then by the time he was done, Merv was gone. So then I ended up making an insensitive joke, which I've since apologized and tweeted about, and it's cleared up with fanboy. But I'm holding Merv responsible.
No, you got to hold yourself
Well, I did. I
accountable,
already
and
did
I'm
that, but
glad.
I'm
I know,
tagging
but
him in.
you can't. I'm sorry. You can't tag Merv in and hey Merv, glad you're joining us this morning. But it's funny you brought that up already because I was gonna have to say something because somebody DM'd me about that. You know, I'm sorry you made a bad joke at the wrong time,
Yeah, I've
Fats.
already put out a tweet about it, apologizing to anybody who was upset by it, or
Good for you. Good for you,
and
bud.
I
Good
had
for
a DM with fanboy, and we're all cool. So
good for you, buddy. Good for you. All right, tell us your medical update. Did we have a pet recently?
there's
What's going on there?
not much new. When I get back from
Okay.
the backgammon tournament, I have my first post chemo uh, treatment of immunotherapy, which I've been getting with my chemos, but now I'm just going straight immunotherapy, and I'll get a double dose every 6 weeks. So I'll have one,
Okay.
and then I'll get one when I get back from Vet Bash, and we're waiting on the PET scan. We'll either, if I don't get the PET scan scheduled If it doesn't go on the schedule next week while I'm away at the backgammon tournament, then United Health will be moving up the list above McDonald's.
All right, fair enough. Fair
Because
enough.
they're already starting to. We got a place to do it now. That's going to be a network with them, and now they're starting. Now
Right.
they're starting. Now we got a place. Now they're starting to do the moonwalk.
Well, it'll all work out. It always does, Fats, one way or another. It's going to work out, buddy.
And shout out
All right.
Karen and Dana and Avi.
Go
Morning.
ahead, Avi.
What am I? I'm second. I'm fucking chop liver to you, Fats. Come on.
Yeah, you're third behind Karen and Dana. Every day of
Well,
the
he
week
didn't
and
even.
Oh,
twice on
and
Sunday.
He didn't even shout out to me, Avi, and I'm the host. So
I
go
You
ahead,
don't
Avi.
missed
count.
that.
We all know you're
Fuck.
there.
Yo, so I got hot dogs again, and I'm just like running out of creative ways to like cook or prepare them. So if that's up here, I just wanted to ask. I got some chili, some medium cheddar. I think I want to do raw onions. I've been doing caramelized onions, but I kind of want to do something with.
No, hot dogs are. I'm a big lover of caramelized onions, but not on a hot dog. Hot dog, it's raw onions.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And white onions for the raw.
Yeah, white raw.
And then what
But
else? What goes with it then?
you can chop them up smaller though. That's up to taste because sometimes if you got them too big, they're just falling out of your sandwich. You're losing them. So if you have them smaller, you can kind of tuck them in better.
But what condiments go with that, or any toppings?
I used to be originally a hot dog or a mustard guy, but I have no objection to ketchup or a mixture of mustard and ketchup.
Does cheese go with onions on a hot dog or no?
Cheese goes on anything.
All right, you done, Avi? With your hot dog news of the day.
There's also a
Although I have to
poker.
say this, somebody said something to me today about they wanted to put me into the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. And
Okay, no. We're not going to talk about the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. It's gross. Sorry. Uh, I just am refusing that conversation, you guys. Sorry.
without saying anything further about it, I was on the same page as you where I was going with that.
Okay,
Just for the
perfect.
record. So
It's gross. All right, moving right along. Moving right along. Fats, you'll be happy to know that Ben Lamb got us some points for our Team Spacers team yesterday.
where did he go
Currently,
out?
he went out 7th.
That's where he
And we are
was.
currently 72nd out of 873.
That's still
And we
great.
have 911 points. So hopefully we will continue to gather points and remain in that top 100. So that's our Team Spaces Fantasy League update. And I retweeted back to Robert Mizuraki. And for those that are on Team Spacers, I know you saw it, or I hope you saw it in the chat. He made a tweet that said, well, I'm back to being called the Real Grinder's brother again. Ha ha ha. Unless I win a main event, unless I win the main event WSOP, hashtag, tagging WSOP. And so I tweeted under that, on behalf of my fantasy team, I agree with this message.
Wait, don't we have him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Duh.
Okay. Well, I thought that. I just wanted to verify that. I can't believe I got a chance to win this 50K Players Championship for the fourth time. It's only been around 10, 15 years tops.
Okay, let's just tell you that he's already won it last night. He won his 7th bracelet and his 4th Poker Players
There
Championship.
you go.
Michael Mizuraki. So congrats to him. That was event number 66. And just as, the Frog Liquor came in second, Bryn Kenny. took home 887,000. Michael took home 1.3 million. And a big shout out to Esther Taylor, the second female to make a final table in that event. She took home third place and 595,000. And Ben Lamb, as I said, came in seventh for 175,000. So congrats to all of those folks.
Shout out to you for doing a good job putting this team together. It's really I'm impressed that we're as far as we got without my help.
Well, I appreciate that. And, ASG and I had some fun. I mean, we were probably the most involved with, and we were
Sure.
like deep diving on it because we just enjoy that kind of stuff. So I appreciate ASG's input as well. It's been fun. It's definitely been a fun sweat all summer for probably 90% of the time, maybe 80. I don't know. We've been in the top 100, and I love that. Like, I'm like so happy with that. Hopefully, maybe we can get in the top 50 here in the next week and solidify a win for the team.
We're going to
Right?
win the main event, one of our 10.
Hell yes, we've got a good chance of that.
Hey, a shout
We
out to
definitely.
a new audience member in here, GRP, the infamous GRP wins. I don't know if you want to offer him a mic, but he does play poker too.
Hey George, how are you? You're welcome anytime. Request in that bottom left corner. You are more than welcome anytime for sure, as well as anybody else in the audience. I see Bathwaters here. ASG must be working hard. Exec Deck, Merv, Sadie Joy, D Man, Barry, welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate y'all
Yes,
listening.
Sherry.
And
I have one thing to bring up with
yeah,
poker is so I didn't play any of the $99 tournaments yesterday. I just wasn't feeling up to it when they happened. But
all
there are
right.
4 today. But my issue is that what if I win 2? Because there's no way for one to get the results on the first one. So if I make it in 2 in a row, are they going to give me $630 back, or are they going to say, "Hey, only one submission," and like not give me anything?
You're asking, hey, you are asking the wrong person. I have
Karen,
no
do you have?
clue.
Are you in Vegas now, Avi?
No, this is on Global Poker. I bought
Oh,
like packages of tickets. I have $499 tickets, and there's a $630 like no direct buy-ins. You can only satellite into it. That is at 5 o'clock my time today, and um, all of the
Why
tournaments
don't
for
you
it.
ask why don't you ask Ruben? Ruben would probably know the answer to that.
Yeah, and I think none of us like know the answer directly, so it's all subjective. But they can't just jip me like that.
You never know. Never say never.
You can
Hey
get
George,
gypped and
welcome.
anything. You can get ripped off
That's
anywhere.
right.
I mean, it's gonna be worth it for the tweet.
I hear you. I hear you. But is it worth losing 600? I don't
They're
know.
pretty
I like
responsive
my
on
money too
Facebook,
much.
Avi. So I would go to their Facebook page and reach out to anybody for questions.
Just an FYI, you guys, today at the Poker Legends Lounge, they're hosting a watch party for the ladies' event starting at 5 p.m. George, welcome.
Oh, I saw Fats here, so I had to see what he was up to. And Fats is hanging out with the ladies today. Good for him. A little variety.
always hanging out with the ladies. Wife's not home.
Uh, oh, good for
When the
you.
cat's away. Although I think she probably loves all of us.
No, she's cool with the whole group here.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
Excuse me,
sure.
ladies. That's my mom, so I'm gonna duck for a
Oh, God
second. I'll be
bless.
back.
All right, no problem. While he's doing that, I'm going to bring up another topic that I saw this morning that I thought was interesting that Jacki Burkhart tweeted out. I don't know if it was yesterday, whatever, but yeah, it was yesterday. I'm looking at the screenshot. So I thought this was an interesting topic to discuss, and her tweet reads as follows. Can the TDA please consider an exception for licensed medical professionals who attend to a medical emergency during tournament play? Their hands should not be killed, and their blinds should not be collected while they're occupied. Tagging Matt Savage, of course. And she goes on under in the thread to say it's come up twice this year that I know of. An opponent tried to get a hand killed, floor ruled in the nurse's favor. A different tournament, a nurse goes to help a player who dropped. Nearing the bubble, it's obvious to everyone what he's doing. He comes back, he's blinded down from 11 blinds to 8 blinds. Then she goes on to tweet, because then Matt Savage says, give me an example. And she says, RN raises, player at a different table, passes out, hits the ground. RN puts a chip on her card and it attends to the emergency. Different player goes all in, insists the nurse's hand should be dead. Other players protect her hand. What if they didn't and the dealer just obeyed? Question mark. What do you guys think? What do you guys think in the case of an emergency? A medical personnel uh, gets up from your table. They're in the middle of a hand to go help somebody in a medical emergency. What do you think we should do about that? Go ahead, Dana.
I think the tournament clock has to be stopped and all action has to be stopped, because not everybody that helps in a medical emergency is an RN or a medical professional in some capacity. Um, I mean, I helped.
Yeah, it should be for
It
anybody.
should
Yeah,
be for
it should
anybody.
be for anybody that gets up to help.
Yeah,
I think that's just getting lost in the weeds. But I think the overall, your point of view, I think overall
It's
is probably what most would
yeah.
say. Go ahead.
Stopping the clock is the first thing I would do.
Yeah. Um, Karen, did you have anything you'd like to say about that?
I agree with what Dana's saying. Yeah, it seems like that if the players, helping somebody in a medical emergency, yeah, they should uh, immediately stop the action and, figure out a way to, you know, I guess either get somebody else involved too to help the person. But, you can't you can't punish somebody for being a good Samaritan.
Yeah, it's kind of like the caution flag at NASCAR. If there's a
Right,
big wreck, everybody has to slow down and respect the wreck.
right. And
totally. And I'll tell you another thing. Caesars has a liability. When someone has an emergency in the casino, the person just can't be lying there and dying. They have a responsibility to provide assistance also.
right. And they would, but we're in this case, we're just talking about the players and how it affects the players. And for me, to me, it's an automatic stop of the clock and it's, all play stops. But at the same token, we have to think about that in the bigger picture, right? So, how long are we going to keep that play stopped? What if it's a doctor who is medically treating this person and it takes 20 minutes for an ambulance to come, or because it is a casino, so it's not like they can arrive in 6 or less minutes and then just walk 30 feet into a door. It's a little more complicated to get an ambulance and a stretcher into a casino for where the tournaments are. So what if it takes 20 or 30 minutes? Are we going to put a time frame? Is it going to be well, maybe they should just refund their money and just call them a great Samaritan? This is the Good Samaritan rule. And, if it goes longer than, say, I don't know, I'm just picking a number, 15 minutes, then they become a Good Samaritan and they're just refunded.
No. Yeah, they have to do something. I agree with you.
What do you guys think about a time frame on that, Karen?
I missed the last part, but you mean, I'm sorry, just repeat about the time frame.
Okay, so what if we make it sort of I'm just thinking out loud, a Good Samaritan rule? Say you're a doctor, because
Thank you.
and you are medically treating this person as a doctor, and you're waiting for the ambulance to arrive, and because it's in a casino, it's not going to be less than 10 minutes, and more likely than not. So say it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes till the ambulance arrives, and this doctor is maintaining treatment of this patient, right? It could also just be a Good Samaritan that's not a doctor, performing CPR. I mean, there's lots of scenarios, so let's not get lost in the weeds. I'm just talking about a time frame. Should there be like a Good Samaritan rule? After 15 minutes, the Good Samaritan gets their money refunded because they're just taking care of that patient. So, what do you think? Should there be a time frame on it?
Yeah, I mean, that's tough because there's not a you wouldn't want to put like a value, I guess, a time value on somebody's life.
Right,
I mean, seems
right.
like the casino could the bigger casinos would have some medical staff that maybe could the Good Samaritan could be relieved maybe of the care in return. I just don't know. That's a good question. I just don't know what the appropriate
Yeah.
time
And of
limit
course, we
would be.
definitely, my point is not to put a time limit on the help, but you also can't keep that tournament on standby for how long? How long are you going to keep, you know, hundreds or thousands of people on hold? I don't know the answer to that.
So
But it is
just like
something we should think about. Go ahead, Dana.
just like with the caution flag, in NASCAR, it takes however long it takes, and each scenario is different. But also, like Karen said, um, the person that is first there to help get the person comfortable or provide any first aid um, must be relieved by the casino staff. They're going to have medical staff present in some capacity on the campus. So once they've been relieved and they've shown up, then they can take it from there because,
Well, I
liability,
don't think
personal liability, everything plays in as well. But as far as like,
I don't know if they have medical staff on duty at a casino. They may have people that know how to run the defibrillator, because they definitely train people to run defibrillators. But I don't think casinos have medical people on staff that can just come over and take care of the situation. Um, and I don't agree with however long it takes. The clock should be paused for. Um, I think that there should be some, it could be a half an hour, it could be an hour, but I think there has to be a good Samaritan. We got to take care of this. Good Samaritan should definitely not be penalized. And of course, the patient should always be the priority. But at the same token, when you're looking at the big picture, you also have to look at the hundreds or thousands of people that are playing that tournament.
right,
That's part of the equation. And so I don't know what the answer is, but I definitely think there has to be some type of time frame. And you should also, even though the Good Samaritan, may be upset with being, refunded. There could be that scenario, or maybe given a choice. We can refund you because we got to start the clock again, or we're going to start the clock again. If you don't mind being blinded out, we will just leave you in the tournament. And maybe given the
yeah,
choice, I don't know. I'm just
I
thinking
have,
out loud, but I think it's an important conversation.
I have, you know, experienced being uh, right there when someone had a medical emergency, and thankfully, a nurse was present as well. But I helped with first aid, and once the cruise medical people showed up, we were done. And
Well,
so,
of
and
course, but
then
a cruise has a medical staff. They have a, infirmary on board. So they have
right,
a licensed medical staff. Casinos do not.
I just
Totally.
Googled it,
Yeah,
Sherry,
totally. Yep.
and it said yes, most casinos have medical staff on site.
Okay.
So you
Most.
just
That's not
about
all.
have to.
It's not, yeah, but my point is we can't count on that. We can't count on that. I don't
Each
know, Greg Lark,
each
we keep
individual's
approving you and you keep getting approved to speak, Greg. I don't know what the issue is, buddy. I don't know if your server's not working or what. Um, go ahead,
there he
Barry.
is.
All right, I'm going to let Greg go first. Go ahead, Greg.
No, let Barry speak first, please.
Go ahead, Barry.
Good morning. You're giving me flashbacks. I had to scroll through my messages. June
Yes, love.
June 11th, 2024. Excuse me. I'm in the New Orleans playing the Omaha High-Low tournament. I look down, I got ace 366. The flop is queen 10-6. The dealer drops the deck, grabbing her chest, starts having chest pains. They call the floor over. I'm like, what are you dropping the deck? They call the floor over. They stop the tournament. They pause it at least an hour. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. The action gets better around on the flop. They put out the turn. Deuce. I got ace 366. Flop was 6-10 jack, turn to deuce. She drops the deck. Now, I'm just like, what are you dropping the deck? She's having some type of medical emergency. They call the floor. They pause the clock. Takes about an hour. They got to bring the gurney in, the ambulance. And you know me, now I'm trying to tell jokes. I'm trying to say now they're going to switch out the deck. Now I'm getting fucked. I don't know what the fuck is happening. They're doing this on purpose. So hopefully the dealer was like,
Live poker is rigged.
right, yeah, it's some type of conspiracy.
Oh,
Obviously,
shit.
somehow I lose to some random king nine. They end up making it straight and I get scooped. But it's just you're giving me flashbacks of this happening in real life, and they just paused the tournament. And as long as it takes, it takes. It could take hours. It was pretty fast. I would say maybe a little less than an hour, probably.
Okay, so let me ask you this: was there any medical staff on provided by the casino?
Well, eventually, the EMS guys with their little uniforms came over, and then they waited for the gurney, and the gurney came and wheeled her out.
Right, but there any casino employees that were medical professionals?
Yeah, definitely, it definitely employs staff of the, whatever first aid department, whatever.
Perfect, perfect. And that was where, Barry?
At the Orleans.
At the Orleans. Perfect, 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 perfect. And so, what is your point of view? Should there be a Good Samaritan rule where there's a connected to a time, whether it's an hour or 45 minutes, half an hour, or and then they can get refunded, or do we just wait it out for hours with the time with the clock stopped?
Nah, as long as it takes. It doesn't take that long. Even if the person, I mean, unless the person, it's a robbery or they get shot or something. If it's just a medical emergency, they're gonna wheel them away as quick as they can.
Well, and that's interesting you bring up if they were shot, because then it becomes a crime scene, and that's a whole different topic of conversation, for sure. Because then it becomes a crime scene, and you probably got to move. Oh, yeah. Anyway, okay, Greg Lark, it's your turn, buddy.
No, I just want to back up Barry. Barry's a fucking man.
Okay, so all that desperation to get up here on the panel, and
No,
that's
look,
what you
I've
got
been,
for.
I've been like, X has booted me like 3 or 4 times, like just trying to participate in the fucking space.
It's a pain in the
Yeah, I
ass. I
know.
know,
Like
buddy.
whatever.
That's
I'm
why I'm
not, I'm
trying
not
to give you
whining
your
about it. I'm
time.
like ASG, go ahead.
I'm trying to give you some time because of that, Greg. Listen to what I'm saying, dude.
Don't
ASG,
fucking
welcome.
patronize me.
You're right. I won't. See you later, Greg. Have a great day. ASG, welcome. Are you working hard this morning or
No,
not hardly
I'm
working?
sleeping hard. Um,
Good for you.
but yeah, uh, I think for all involved, yeah, it's kind of what Barry should say, that the whole tournament should stop. It's irrelevant to another person getting
We agree.
involved. Yeah.
Well, we agree that the tournament should be stopped for sure. We agree on that. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. The moment the person stands up to go help, the moment the person that collapses or whatever needs help, the tournament should be stopped for sure. Nobody's arguing that point. I just thought it was a great conversation that Jackie has started, because I think it should be looked at. Because she talks about somebody's, trying to get a hand killed, because this nurse is over helping someone else and somebody's trying to angle the hand, right? Saying, hey, I'm all in. She's got to fold, which is so ridiculous. Go ahead, Barry. Excuse me. Go ahead, Barry.
Didn't Miami John tell us the story how he passed out at the table?
Yep. Yep. Sure did. Yepper. Yepper. All right. Anybody else have any other comments on that? If not, we'll just keep moving on down the tracks. And, it's a shame that Greg didn't take what I was saying the way it was meant. But that's old Greggy Poo.
Yeah, just one more,
Just
Miss
one.
Sherry.
Go ahead.
Um, as far as like making across the board uh policies, I think it should vary location to location because, like you said, not all casinos are going to have a team of first responders, or not all card rooms, if you will. Maybe if they're lucky, their security guard has some sort of certification, um, and is on call for such events. But as far as like a good Samaritan rule, I see what you're saying. Um, if after the tournament clock has been restarted and they're not at their seat, is that kind of like the scenario you're envisioning?
Honestly, I'm just putting scenarios out there.
Yeah.
I really haven't given it much thought as far as,
Yeah, maybe
what I'm
some sort
spewing
of,
right here. But what I'm saying is we have to, A, make sure the patient's taken care of, B, make sure that the Good Samaritan is not being penalized for
yeah,
being a Good Samaritan and protect that Good Samaritan as well. And so, whatever that looks like, I don't know.
yeah.
But I also am, aware of the fact that we are in a tournament. And so we also have to take that into consideration. Now, your point about it should vary from place to place, we have to be reminded that the TDA rules may
Mhm.
be the Bible of the poker world, but how those rules are applied already vary from city to city, state to state, country to country.
Mhm.
Things that are in the TDA rules are not always are not always obeyed by different places you go. So
Mhm.
that's already kind of a thing. They apply them as they see fit in their area on how, um, you know, they have to
Yeah,
run poker in their area per the laws, per their players and their type of customers.
I
So
hear you.
there's already that in place, that it kind of varies from place to place. That's already in place. People apply it in their city, state, or country. So um yeah, anyway,
Right on.
any other questions or comments on that? Interesting topic. I'm definitely going to try to give that some more thought because I think it definitely needs some more thought. Protect the patient, protect the Good Samaritan, and unfortunately, we're talking about it because an angler was trying to angle it. Excuse me. So protect us from the anglers as well. Uh, I find it interesting. So, just an FYI, the partner poker team, which is that membership program that we spoke about with Baby Shark Christina Golins when I interviewed her. She's part of the team that started that group. It's mentoring poker players. They're going to do a meetup at the poker.org Legends Lounge at 11 o'clock on Monday. If you're interested in getting more information or supporting that group, um, you can, go to the poker.org Legends Lounge and, have some conversations, maybe volunteer to be a mentor. I wish I had some time because I definitely would do it. So that's on Monday at 11 o'clock. I'm pretty sure that Isaac's on the way to Vegas. I'm so excited. And Reaper. I don't know who else is in the car. I think it's just the two of them. But anyway, hope they're safe and sound and we'll get here soon so we can start having some fun. I want to give a little shout out to Adam Hendricks, who took down Event number 32 at the Aria. It was an $1,100 buy-in. There were 453 entries, and Adam Hendricks took it down for 78,000. So congrats to him. I also want to bring up the Eric Baldwin tweet, which I found a little interesting as well, and see what you guys think. And here it is. The WSOP main event should be 8-handed starting on day 3, and the final table should be 9-handed. Currently, we're 9-handed throughout and 10-handed final table. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about that? Should it be changed to 8-handed starting on day 3? Anybody get any thoughts on that? I was actually kind of surprised he brought it up.
Now, which tournament
Harry,
was it again?
for the main
Oh, for the
event.
May. Okay, so it still stays 9-handed. Um, yeah, I don't have a strong feeling about it. I'm fine to stay with how it was starting out.
And I think, it's the main event. Why not give one more person, a seat at the final table? It's the main event. Why not? Come on. They worked hard,
So they wanted
you know.
to be just less crowded, or I mean, I think 9 is good.
Yeah.
And that's how it's always been.
Yeah. Yeah. So he wants to go 8-handed starting on day 3 and final table 9-handed. I like the 10th person
Yeah.
at the final table. They've worked hard to get there. I don't
I'd
know.
have to understand his reasoning as to why.
Yeah, I'd like to know that too.
Because 8-handed
Yeah.
is totally different than 9-handed when it comes to action. So, like, is it for leg room or is it because you feel more competitive individually 8-handed? You know,
I would guess the latter personally.
and they have bracelet events that specifically say 8-handed. You know,
Right, right, right,
so
right. But the main event, he's just talking about the main event. I just thought it was interesting. To me, it's a it's a non-topic. It's 9-handed is a comfortable seating arrangement. Um, it's what we're playing around the world in most cases. So why would it be different for the main event? I don't know. I don't know. Barry, you have any thoughts on that? Uh-oh. Barry, having heard no thoughts, we're going to keep it moving.
I'm here.
Let's
I'm
talk
sorry.
about.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I think it should be
that's
should be 10-handed until it gets down to the final 9, and the final table 9-handed. Hence the term
oh,
November 9.
right. Oh, that's interesting. I have no problem with the 9-handed throughout, just because the space at the table is better. But I have no problem with 10-handed. We played 10-handed in the deep stack the other day. I have no problem with that. A lot of people were complaining. I don't know. Would I rather have 9-handed? Yeah, because the table is definitely more comfortable. But whatever. Whatever. All right, you guys, let's talk about what has happened with the WSOP the last couple of days. Of course, I already talked about the poker players championship. Again, congrats to Michael Mizuraki for taking it down for the 4th time, his 7th bracelet. So congratulations to him. Event number 67 was the $300 Gladiator. Of course, we're moving into day 2 finally. Um, there are 10,900. No, this isn't right. Hold on a second. Let me look at this for a minute. Oh, yeah. There were 10,980. No, 10. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I'm reading? Flight 1D was 9,075. I was trying to combine those numbers. And there were 342 moving on from flight 1D. My notes are atrocious. Sorry. There is now 6.4 million dollars in the prize pool now that all the flights are done and we're moving into day two. There are 24,629 runners in that tournament, and 812 are moving on to day two. So congrats to them. The chip leader is Craig Lecomte. He has 18 million in his chip stack. Oscar Peleg has 7.3 million. That's pretty big spread. They will resume play at the 25K, 50K, 50K blind level. Go ahead, ASG.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't around if we mentioned this with the grinder, but I saw a lot of posts like, "Oh, now he's definitely going to get into the Hall of Fame because of this," and I just thought that was interesting. That like, I know he did well in the main ones, but like, kind of one tournament is like considered a resume for making it to the Poker Hall of Fame.
Well, he's got 7 bracelets. I mean, he's got 7 bracelets. 4 happen to be from this tournament, so to speak. 3 in other tournaments. I mean, why isn't just 7 tournaments good enough for people to say that he can get into the Hall of Fame? I don't get it.
I mean, are we just? I mean, so now we're back to that. Certain people should be at the top of the list because of the number of bracelets they have. I mean, that's kind of like,
No, I never believe that. I think that it's an, that I think that the rules that they have in place as far as, longevity of the game, the um, proving themselves at the high stakes, blah blah blah, whatever all that. What do you call it? The qualifications. He they apply to him.
oh, they definitely apply to him. I'm just saying there's such a backlog that I'm not sure why, or if he should get to the. I don't know what his age is or if he's already eligible, but like, if that should make him now the top of the list because of, yeah.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think, quite honestly, I don't think any one thing, him winning this tournament now or somebody turning 40 this year, I don't think any of those one, mile marker things should catapult anybody to the top of the list. I really think that's kind of a narrow minded, kind of entitlement point of view. But that's just my personal opinion on it. I
Okay.
think that
So yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
I don't.
just looked it up. He's 44,
Yeah.
so it's like he wasn't even a finalist this year, and now they're saying like, oh, Anyway,
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah. Fats, I'm going to go over the ladies tournament. We'll get you in a couple other tournaments and we'll get you in just a second. Event number 70 is the 1K ladies event. Of course, there's 1.2 million in the prize pool. There were 1,368 runners. There are 7 left going into today. 2 years ago, Shina Okamoto came in second place. Last year, she came back and won it. Right now, she is the chip leader. Will she repeat it? She has 7.5 million in her chip stack. Juliet Hedges, I think is how you say it, has 4.6 million. And a little shout out to Heather Elkhorn is in fifth place with 2.1 million. And of course, she is a former WSOP Dealer of the Year. So, congrats to those ladies that are making it to today. There are 7 left. Event number 73 was the $1,500 8-game mixed. And going into today, there are 14 remaining out of 789. Narcissus Nedelku has 3.2 million in his chip stack, and Walter, I'm just going to spell it, Treccarid, no, RICHI, has 2 million in his chip stack. Uh, just to have some fun. The person at the bottom of the heap, our underdog, is Chicken Bonk Bonk, who has 435,000 in their chip stack. I don't know if it's a male or a female, but that's their screen name that they're using right now. Also, event number 74 was the 10K pot limit Omaha tournament, 7.5 million in the prize pool. There were 793 remaining are 294. The chip leader is Ryan Bambrick, who, oh, no stacks were listed. So he's listed as first in as the chip leader, but no chips were listed on anybody's. So I'm just assuming he is the chip leader. William Benson is listed as in second place. Um, I guess they're still trying to update that list. Today at the WSOP at 10 a.m. is Flight 1A, event number 75, the 1K Mini Main. At 11 o'clock is day 2, event number 67, the Gladiator. At 1 p.m. is day 2, event 74, the 10K Pot Limit Omaha tournament. And at 2 p.m. is day 1 of event 76, the $2,500 mixed big bet tournament. And that tournament better have all of our fantasy team members in it, or Sherry is going to be screaming out tomorrow. Go ahead, Real Fats. What you got, buddy?
Sorry that took so long. Mom was a little chatty this morning,
That's all right. Glad she was.
but that's okay. Mom comes first.
Absolutely.
Did I just hear you say that the ladies event, the lady came in second 2 years ago, won it last year, and is now again at the final table with the chip lead?
Yes.
That is damn impressive.
It's very impressive. It's very impressive, dude.
That
Like,
is
holy
you know
smokes.
how hard that is to do? That's like insane impossible.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
may be harder than Grinder winning the 4 bracelets in the event that he won, because you've got to beat fields of 1,000. He's only got to beat the same 180 or whatever people that he's used to playing with all the time.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, it's quite a feat. Like, and I would be curious to know if she had any rebuys in any of the last 3 years. Like, what is her rebuy status for these tournaments? I would definitely be curious about that. But what a crusher,
And
Miss Okamoto.
I also want to shout out the Grinder, just because I first met the Grinder before he was a thing, when his poker stars handle was, I think, the Grinder. And I met him at the very first Poker Stars Caribbean Adventure, which I had satellited into. And he was down there. There was a guy down there named Steve Wong, who used to play under the name S18, who came to Vegas eventually, and I backed him, and he had a real big run. I made a ton with him. And but the Grinder was down there too, and that was when I met him and his wife down there. And so as he came to have the success that he had, I watched it from the very beginning, because that was when I was kind of like playing regularly and going around to some of the venues.
Awesome. Love that. I love that. And I've met Robert before. I've not met. I spoke for a minute yesterday with Michael, but just to wish him good luck.
He's got such a
Not
happy look
yesterday.
on his face all the
Yeah,
time.
the day before, not yesterday. The day before, when I went down to watch that table for a few, right before they restarted from the break. I just wished him luck. But I've never met with him. Where I have met with Robert, because he's good friends with a good friend of mine, and we were actually. Um, Supporting him at a table by bringing him food, and we got him a massage girl and whatever. But anyway, I have not really spoken to or Michael. But anyway, Mizuraki boys are doing some work, and hopefully Robert's going to be the next one.
Michael's always seemed to be very happy-go-lucky, like always got a smile on his face, always joking around.
And I'm going to tell you, that's exactly what he was like on break of that tournament. Like I was like, you know what? He's just having fun. Like he's really enjoying where he's at.
Exactly. He seems like he was always having fun when he was playing. Even, I think he even made a final table or just bubbled the final table one year also in the main. Um,
Oh, I think you're right.
so
I think
he's
you're
just,
right.
he really, because you really don't hear much about him until the World Series, and then he just comes out of nowhere and gets these just monster cashes, and he's just like having fun.
Right. And Robert too. Robert,
His brother looks a
Robert
lot more.
comes
I
in
never
strong.
really met his brother, and but I've seen pictures and seen him play, and his brother always looks like he's so serious.
Robert. Yeah,
Yeah,
Robert looks serious, and Eric is also to me kind of a happy-go-lucky kind of hippie guy. He looks like a hippie guy to me. But crushers, all three of them are crushers for sure at the poker table. Like for sure, fun to watch. So hats off to
Yeah, I
them,
saw
Miss Rocky boys.
Greg Jennings joking around that he's called the grinder, and yet this year he's got two tourney wins, one at $300 for 5,000, and one at 50K for 1.3 million. And yet his nickname is the grinder. Like that sounds like somebody who would be like winning like.
I love it. I love it so much. All right, you guys. Anybody else have anything to bring up
Strug
today? I have.
Strug
Go.
Crabs have anybody in line? Anybody doing anything today or close?
I did not see anybody's names on any list unless they're way far down, but I didn't see anybody on any lists. And I really wish Andrew Moreno would stop playing over at the Win and come over here to the WSOP and win us some points. Come on, Andrew.
Get a hold of Ken and James. He's over the win a lot. Tell James to knock him out and send him over here.
I hope Ken is doing well over there. I see Isaac's coming in. He must be almost here, or he's got reception because I think they're driving here this morning, if my memory serves me correctly. Hey, Isaac.
Hey, good morning. Yes, on the road. Gonna be there around probably like 2 p.m. We're gonna hit Blueberry Hill as soon as we touch ground and pick up Mac. So if any of y'all that are out there want to join us, we're gonna go to the Blueberry Hill right there off of Flamingo, about a couple miles off the strip. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, speaking of Blueberry Hill, do they still have one on the west side of town near where
Yes.
Arizona Charlie's used to be?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do actually.
They're both still around. I
Yeah,
used to.
I don't know
Those were good
exactly where it's
spots.
at, but it's kind of like I would say it's about 5 minutes away from the Palms or something like that on that side of
Yeah, it's
town.
between the Palms. It's right. It's like 2 minutes from Arizona Charlie's on
Yeah.
Decatur on the same road.
Yep. Yep. It's still there, Fats.
All right. So if anybody wants to join Isaac and some of the Green Visor gang this afternoon, hit him up and let him know.
Yeah, don't wait for me,
And so
Isaac.
he
I'm
can
coming,
tell
but
you.
I think I'm not going to
Okay,
make it till
Fats, could
August.
you, Fats, hey, Fats, could you not hear me in the middle of a sentence?
Oh no,
Could
because
you not hear
no,
me?
I don't think I did.
Okay, thank you. If you want to meet the Green Visor gang over at Blueberry Hill, let Isaac know so that he can keep you updated on their estimated time of arrival. Um, because he's driving right now, so the time will vary a little bit. So, if you want to meet up with them, kind of DM him so he knows and DM you like we're half an hour out or whatever.
Yes, indeed.
Sherry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Thank
I
you.
must have been clairvoyant because I was telling him exactly what you just told everybody to tell him.
Well, I was in the middle of saying that, and you just anyway, we're going to keep it moving. Isaac, I'm a little disappointed you weren't here when I talked about a lady shoving her husband's ashes when she shoved all in. It was part of her all in.
No, really? Wow. Yo, I'm gonna add that to my will, yo.
Don't you dare.
Ah,
Wow.
don't
I
do it.
mean, come
Don't
on
do it.
though. Like, look, you know how you could turn ashes into things now, right? You could turn them into stone and
Yes.
all of that.
Yes.
If I become a card protector, I'm okay with that.
Okay, for the record, if you put that in your will that you want to have some card protectors made, you better designate one to me because I'm morbid enough to think that's funny.
Hell
Wait,
yeah.
wait. I gotta ask a question. Wouldn't the ashes have to go in the side pot if the other player doesn't have ashes to match it?
I could be.
So you're gonna get them back anyway, most likely.
That's pretty
Oh God, I
amazing.
was like,
That's pretty amazing.
Isaac's gonna love this story. And then you weren't here. I was like, damn it.
Oh, by the way, speaking of, I saw your interview, Sherry. Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I saw the interview
Congrats on
Thank
earlier
that.
this morning when I had some reception.
thank you.
Hella dope.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't even bring it up today. For those that don't know, I was I was gifted the honor of using, pardon me, the poker.org mobile, so to speak, studio that they've set up to do to do interviews at whatever, I could schedule whatever I want, which of course was a great honor that they would even approach me to do that. And so yesterday, was it yesterday? No, Friday. What's today? Sunday? Yeah, Friday. Um, Sarah O'Connor, as you guys know, I did an interview with her to talk about her new books coming out, the books that she just released, and so on and so forth. And of course, was I nervous? Yes, because I'm used to talking on the radio. I can sit in my, you know, t-shirt and shorts to do this. I don't have to put makeup on or have my hair combed or anything. I just show up, turn on my microphone, and go for it. And so, it was a different pressure. And of course, I'm not at home. So I think I tried on 7 different outfits, and I'm not sure if I landed on the right one or not. But anyway, it was a little nerve wracking at first to try to pull it all together. And I'm blind as a bat, you guys. I have to have my reading glasses on and, to be able to look at my notes. And so there were a lot of things that I was like trying to work out. And, I think it came together well. Would I do some things different? Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're your hardest critic, right? But Sarah's always a delight, full of energy, and we had fun. I mean, I hope that came across for sure because I enjoyed it, she enjoyed it, and we hope you guys do too. So thank you for bringing it up, Isaac, for sure, and the kind words from you and Fats. Appreciate that. So yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna interview Isaac and whomever he wants to bring with the Green Visor Gang, and we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. And hopefully, I have a couple other people I've talked to that hopefully they're going to want to do some interviews. And Barry, I'm trying to schedule the one you had a hard time scheduling. So it's a yes, but hopefully I can get it scheduled. And you know how that is, Barry. But we're going to try. So thank you. Anyway, moving right along. Isaac, did you want to bring up anything else before you lose signal or whatever?
Nope. Just have a good one, y'all, and I'll see you soon, Cher.
Thank you. Look forward to it, buddy. Looking forward to it. I'm going to go ahead around the horn and see if anybody else has anything to bring up. I know Barry's probably fallen back to sleep, but when he wakes up, he can certainly chime in if he has something. Oh, there he is. Uh, Barry, you have anything else you want to bring up, buddy, before we sign off?
Nah, all good. Thanks for having me. Good job.
Thanks for, thank you. Appreciate you. Dana, how about you,
I'm
lovely?
good, ma'am. Happy Sunday. Hope y'all have a great day.
Happy Sunday, and that new haircut looks cute.
Thank
And
you.
anything going on? Yeah, anything going on at HCL I need to know about?
We'll be live the next 2 days. Max Payne Monday. Great lineup. Check it out on HCL Poker Show on X and of course the YouTube channel. And then we'll be dark from July 2nd through the 10th because the guys will be in Vegas with y'all. So be sure to keep an eye out for Ryan, Raver, and Neve and Nathan. The whole crew will be there. So even Charlie
I hope
Wilmoth.
I I hope I get to run
Yeah,
into them. I'm fingers crossed I get to run into them. And just an FYI, I'm picking up the box that Raver sent for the
good
meetup game
deal.
today when I go to the barbecue. So at some point this week, we're going to work on giving that stuff away. And of course, I appreciate Raver and Ryan Feldman for making that happen for us and supporting what we're doing here in
Well,
Spaces.
they definitely appreciate your support as well. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Dana. Appreciate you. All right, ASG, anything you want to bring up, add, question, whatever?
I'm not sure. I don't think it was mentioned, but congratulations to Ite, who became the first woman with two $500,000 plus caches.
We did talk about it, but it doesn't hurt to say it again, loud from the back room. Amazing. And she was really low stacked at one point, so she battled back to third place, loud and proud. So good job, Esther Taylor, otherwise known as E-Tay. Final table list in that Poker Players Championship and the second female to do it in history. So shout out, my friend. Shout out. Karen Chess, you still there? Or you making a dash out the door?
Still here about to dash, but yeah, I'm good. I enjoyed this space and hope you
Thank you,
run well
lovely.
if you play today.
I'm going to a barbecue. I'm chilling today, but she's saying that to the rest of you. If you're playing today, Karen says good luck, and we wish her well as well. She's going over the Aria to play. Did you say it was a bounty?
Yep, it's a mystery bounty tournament.
The mystery bounty. Thank you so much. I'm jealous. I wish I was playing that today. Um, but, I have a barbecue to go to with some friends I've known for over 30 years. So I'm not passing that up. Fats, is there anything else you'd like to bring up?
And only one other thing.
Sure.
When we were talking about the card protectors and stuff. There was only one time I ever made a a planned move with a card protector, and that was I was down to the final three tables in the first horse tournament that they had, the first 1,500 horse that they had down at the World Series, and at those three tables, I knew Helmuth was still in. So I came prepared in case I ever ended up at the table with them, which I did. And when we got down to the tables, I was waiting until I could get the spot where I could raise them and try to isolate them, which I did. And then when I came over the top of them, I pulled out of my pocket a Phil Hellmuth card cap that was wearing the ultimate bet black and uh, yellow outfit that he was wearing at the table. And I raised him and I stuck the card cap on my cards and I faced it right at him and he stared it down for like 2 minutes and then folded and said, "Well, that guy's kind of good looking." And it did get written.
That's a
It
great
did.
story.
The hand did get written up, like in the blurbs under
Yeah.
under the caption "Helmuth versus Helmuth." And I have a copy of that somewhere, a screenshot of it. If I have time, I'll look for it. I'll give it to you. Post it tomorrow for you guys.
That'll be great. We will look forward to that. That's a great story. Thank you for sharing it. I love it so much. It reminds me of another story. When I was part of the Flophouse Radio crew, we had, just like in Twitter, you have people that are just want to troll about anything. They read into shit that is not the intended by the person who is saying it or tweeting it or writing it or whatever. And the written word, as we all know, gets confused a million times a day. Somebody means this, but somebody interpreted it as that and whatever. And so there was this one gal who let me backtrack. One of the guys associated with a team or with the Flophouse team, um, I want to say, and I could be mixing up the story a little bit, so just bear with me. It was in 2020, but we were doing I think it was a monthly tournament, maybe, or it may have been the quarterly tournament, and he was going to give away a card protector. And the card protector was, if you can imagine, a semi truck, the mud flaps with the naked girls on the back. I know you guys know which one I'm talking about. Okay, well, first of all, the guy gifting this as a prize to the tournament is a truck driver. He owns a trucking business. Okay, so it's like no surprise that this is the kind of card protector he's given away for a prize. And I want to say that it was like something like it alluded to something about like on tails is, anal and heads is something, was like the pictures on the card protector. Okay, tasteless maybe, but we're all adults here in the poker world, right? Like you know it's adult conversation. Anyway, so he posted the picture and saying, this is what I'm gonna give you guys to give away for the, he was proud of it. It was a gift. He was, he spent money, he ordered it, whatever. Well, this one lady was ballistic over this card protector. Oh my God, women this, women that. And hey, we all get it, but you have to consider the source. It's not that big of a deal unless you make it a big deal. Anyway, so there, I called it, I, I started calling it card protector gate, when we would talk about it, right? And because it literally grew out of control. It was so stupid. So what did they do? I'm not going to say who did it, not me, but somebody ordered like a dozen of them and handed them out to people that were like, come on, you guys, this is really not that big of a deal. And we all swore, yeah, I received one, that if we ever sat at a table with that lady, we were going to use that card protector. And within 3 months, I'm at Best Bet in Jacksonville, Georgia. And who is at my table? And not only who's at my table, but who's at the tournament? The people that ordered the card protectors. So, of course, I have to get that little card protector out of my purse and put it on the table. Um, just to troll the person. Because honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal. But anyway, thank you for that story and reminding me of those great memories with Flophouse Radio for sure. All right, unless anybody else has anything else to bring up, we're going to move it on and jump off so that we can enjoy our Sunday. Get off of social media, people, and touch the grass. Hug your family, hug your dog, walk your dog, get off social media, whatever it takes. And if you're on the felt like Karen, good luck, good luck, good luck to you. If not, touch the grass. Much love. Thank you for joining me. If you can, give that interview with Sarah a retweet, a listen. We would appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.